nutrition, and running. All good? I want to talk about nutrition. Okay, so I just had a really hard workout, geared towards 5K pace and faster. So the workout was 4 by 700 meters, just right around 14 flat to sub 14-minute 5K pace. It's 2-minute rest jog going into 500, still 200 rest jog 2 by 500, a little faster, and then 2 by 400, even faster in like 64, 65s. And then it was 2 by 300. Now I'm really kicking. Now this mimics, the last final stages of the race where you're kicking in that last 800 meters or so. That was like 48, so that's around 1350 5K pace or so, a little faster. And then last 4 by 200 and 31 to 30, which is basically the kicking in, hopefully closing 60 or so, last 400. But okay, a workout like that, so that's really moving, and it's on the VO2 max range for the longer stuff, but for the most part, it's to mimic a part of VO2 max, but kicking and closing fast at the end. So the 700s and the 500s were more in the VO2 max range, because that VO2 max takes maybe about 50 seconds to reach. So I say maybe I got a good 8 minutes at that, but most the fastest stuff was definitely anaerobic, and on a really stressful workout like that, you're going to need to recover. So, after a hard work run like that, especially on a nice warm day, I like to have some citrus. You just peel them up and go boom. So, citrus is very important because it actually eliminates soreness, because it actually rids lactic acid from your blood. So, it rids those harmful or build up byproducts from running really hard. So you want to get citrus, but also it hydrates. But some people want to say, oh, you need to get protein right after you run. Protein, milk. You need to drink milk. I'm like, no. What you want is amino acid, right? Amino acid. In fruits, it's in the raw form. They're not so built up the way like protein is, or the way like tofu or the way soy, big protein molecules are. They're in the form of amino acids, and when you eat amino acids in that form, especially when it comes with a lot of water and carbohydrate, it's absorbed really quickly, so you recover really fast. I'll tell you, by 4 or 5 hours after this, I'm gonna go for another run, and I'll feel pretty good, just nice and relaxed. But when they test fruit, right? They want to test it for protein. They have to cook it, and when you cook fruit, or most plant products, or just about any plant product, you destroy the amino acids, and since the chains are really small inside fruit, they're just gone like that, basically. But when they cook such things like meat products, those protein bonds are really strong. So it's like, oh, it's all protein. There's no protein in fruit, because when they look at the fruit after they cook it, they don't see anything. But that's why you eat fruit raw, right? Greens are high in protein. So I could say a VO2 max video for another video, but maybe I'll give you a little insight to what I think about VO2 max. For me, I notice I don't respond to VO2 max as great as other athletes do. If I did my mile, it'd be a lot faster. I'm a 420 miler, 2 miles 424 pace, and 5K 429 pace, right? I'm in shape to break 1350 now, I think, compared to that workout. So, but what I do a lot of threshold and easy running. That's why I'm a high mileage guy. If you're not a great responder to VO2 max, do more mileage and do more threshold stuff. Do mileage, just be really strong, because 5-minute pace could, start to feel easy. And if you can run 5-minute pace for a marathon, that's pretty good. But you might not be able to break, 4:10 for the mile, or you might not be able to break 4 minutes a mile. That's okay, because most people's bodies aren't like that. So say if you're a slow runner, you're probably a long runner. For me, I was always slow in high school. I was like, oh, there's no way I could run a 4-minute mile and stuff. And part of that I'm saying might be true, I think I have a lot to grow, and I might get down to closer to 4 minutes. But I think my event's gonna be the marathon. So when it comes to VO2 max, when I do a VO2 max workout, I do a lot of sub VO2 max because it's a lot more comfortable to me. But that still does work the VO2 max, not really stretching it. But then you want to go at VO2 max at sometimes, and sometimes a little bit over, and that's what this workout did. So it was at least at VO2 max and a little bit over, really to stress it, and that's a big stress on the body. It's going to take a lot of time to recover, and it's very important not to do many workouts like this, especially for me, because I'll just blow it up on a race day, and I won't be able to race good because I'll race my workouts. You know, you don't want to race your workouts, right? So simple as that is a lot of threshold training. I did a 15K threshold, or 9.3 miles over 600 feet of hills at 5:03, 5:04 pace. And what I do, I'll sign up into these little road races and stuff just to win some prize money, break the core records, whatever. And I'll just run and cruising by myself, and I felt pretty smooth going 5:05 5:05 pace down the hills. I had a 440, and up the bigger hills like 520s. I'll post these on the link below for my Strava account. Please follow me on Strava if you want to know what I'm doing. Everything is tracked on the GPS for the most part, unless I use an indoor track. And sometimes the watch actually does mess up. And one time I deleted a run, or just disappeared somehow off my watch. It happens. But I train between 140, 180 miles a week now. I try to keep it lower to the 140 because it's important a little bit to work on speed, which is my weakness. But I don't forget about my thresholds training. I don't forget about my long runs, because those make me who I am, and those give me the best benefit, because they are my strengths. You want to work on your strengths most, but you don't want to forget your weaknesses. And being out those 200s at the end of this workout, I wasn't too strong with them, but if they're weak, once in a while you gotta hammer them. I'm saying it's like you're closing the last 400 meters of the 5K. You gotta hammer them, and I've been known to basically just collapse after a couple of those. I finished that 14:02 5K last month, and I just collapsed on the ground, just nothing left. My first half marathon when I was 19, I passed out. There's a few races I've passed out. I ran myself so hard, but you want to race. You want to race your races, and you don't want to really race your workouts. I'm telling you like that. And for me, I could cruise a threshold run, and that don't take too much out of me. Only once in a while, you got to push hard in a workout, because you got to open that VO2 max. Because the VO2 max is your maximum aerobic capacity, nothing faster. And by doing something like 700 to 800s would equal to less rest, you're not going to actually be able to go any faster. So you're going to be hurting pretty hard on them. But when you start cutting down the distance and increasing the rest, like towards the end of this workout I did today, that's more anaerobic. But you definitely need that, because that makes the speed, slow paces feel a lot slower, which is very important. But it also helps you close at the end of a race, which is so important, because every race from, basically from a 600 to 100 miles is one what it kick, right? And I'll repeat that. 600 meters, you can't really sprint any more than 400, so that's already maxed up. But for distance events, all right, 800 meters to 100 miles. Yeah, you could be running like 8-minute pace for 100 miles, and you come to the last mile, and it's like, it becomes a kick to the finish, you and one other person. So if you have the speed, you have the speed. Every race is one with a kick, so remember that when you're doing tempo runs, do cut down tempo runs, start slow, and end fast, and have like 1 mile at your VO2 max. So you have 1 mile at 5K pace. And so that's kind of like my philosophy right there. And the nutrition. Get your carbs. Not getting your carbs, I don't know what you're doing. I got a whole bag of oranges right here. I'm telling you, they're sweet as anything. So, never stop running. Always inspiring. El Coyote Loco.
Yeah, but when you get your protein, it's $30 a bottle. But food's too expensive, and it's not enough nutrients. We have to buy supplements that are really expensive.
Nah, food's not expensive. You're expensive. El Coyote Loco.